Boom. Boom.
I stopped following it after the first week because I don't know how long this is gonna take.
Oh, your
Oh,
mental state
yeah.
isn't properly stable when you hear about war every time.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about?
Not war.
Oh,
I'm talking about the trial.
yeah.
Oh, I thought
It's not
it
for
was about
everybody, that's for
Ukraine.
sure.
War is again something different. Nah,
I
at
don't
this
know.
point, I'm just waiting for the results, and then I'm
I just
laughing at the
watched the
one
memes.
who's
I just watched the memes
yeah,
about
that too.
joint depth. I mean, people shortened the video of the entire process, and we can just laugh about it. Some things are like comical. I mean, she tries to make it important, but it's not, and there's no water in the wheel.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take sides in courts, especially when they have nothing to do with me, but it's probably gonna end badly for her.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the home team there. I tried to stay out of it, but it is interesting from a legal perspective as someone who reads law. And I had one of my lawyer friends on the other day, and I'm gonna have a few more on. But it's not often you get to see defamation cases broadcast live, because they're a type of law called civil law. So yeah, but let me do the introduction real quick, guys, and we'll get back to it. So welcome, guys. We are back live. I appreciate you guys joining us again. I will get my camera on 1 second. We're gonna be doing this a little differently today. You guys, we're not gonna be using the green screen. We're just gonna have me in a big block on the bottom, and there we go. So you guys get to see me in all my glory. So we'll turn on the lights to create the effect that we need, and then we will get going. So today we have some of our international friends joining us. Thank you guys. I know it's late for you, and you guys are doing me a gigantic favor. So appreciate all of you. So guys, we have Tobias, who is from Austria. We have Domo, who is from Romania. And then we have, I think that's the only, who else is in here? Let's see. Who else do we have in here? We don't have many people in here, so. There, we'll provide some consistent lighting there. And boom, boom, boom. All right. So, guys, welcome. So, first, we're going to talk about where we are today. So today is going to be a little bit rough. I came off the road. I was doing some guest lecturing for a friend of mine, and I spent a good 4 hours in the car. I sped home. Don't tell anybody. I just told the world. So yeah, it's been a crazy day. Let's see. So I haven't had much time to prepare everything, but I appreciate these guys for joining us. Let's see. Yeah, we got Northern here, but he probably will not be participating over mic unless he wants to. We're in VC chat. Yeah, there we go. So let's talk about what's going on around the world right now. So let's go grab up our international friends and go from there. Let's see. Let's do some understanding war. Let's talk about where we are in Ukraine. Wait, no, nothing's really changed. So, guys, the war has taken a turn where Ukraine is really pushing forward and fighting. We're trying to keep things better. Dodd, welcome, man. Appreciate it. I'm doing good. Yeah, Austria. Are you from Austria, Dodd? Dawid? Where are you from, my man? Welcome. By the way, guys, you can find our podcast if you go up to the top and going live. You'll see the latest one. You can click down there if you want to just have it in the background while you participate in our chats. Helps me out by having more viewers. I appreciate all of you. So there we go. All right, so get to the conversation. Let's get to some international news. All right, guys, I'm just coming up with stuff off the top. So some people don't really care about some of this stuff. Some people do. Here we go. Where's international? Did they get rid of it? Oh, someone's memeing me. Actually, let's go to the Daily Mail. See what they got going on.
I don't know if you talked about this already, but what's up with Mariupol?
So Mariupol fell fully. There seems to be some fighters left, but it's not official. Oh, Dawood is in Linz, Australia. Where is that? Austria,
They
Linz,
brought
Austria.
the wounded to a Russian hospital.
Yeah,
Linz,
they took all the. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh God, I'm so bad at geographics.
It's fine.
Please don't. No, I'm embarrassed in front of my Austrian colleague. Linz is in Upper Austria.
Okay. What's Yogurt up to talking about fellow Austrians? Haven't seen him for a bit.
Yeah, it is in Upper Austria. Yogurt, he's pretty much online every day in Discord, but he wasn't today.
Yeah. Cool. Understood. All right. So let's start off with that. Yeah, we can do that. So there was some leaked footage that came out of Mariupol. Basically, towards the end, the situation in Mariupol was just horrific. They were in underground bunkers trying to give people, surgery and stuff like that, and using stuff that really wasn't meant for what they were using it for. They were also trying to help civilians and couldn't get them out. They tried to attack basically anything that came in on that ground. So it was quite a disturbing situation that was going on. I'm sorry, guys. My phone is going off, and I have Do Not Disturb on, which means it's someone who has the ability to get past. And of course, it's not important. So basically, they were attacking evac helicopters and stuff like that. Families were coming in, just lit up to a crisp from shelling and other things like that. But Mariupol has finally fell. But in other good news, Ukraine has made massive advances into Russian territories. As soon as those territories are fully under their control, I'll absolutely start talking about it. But I want to see those control pieces solidified. ISW also put out that basically the same opinion I had a few days ago. So you guys are kind of ahead of it just because the take that I sort of put out there has pretty much become the situation on the ground. But we can do it. Understandingwar.org. So we'll talk about the campaign assessment from today. So Ukrainian military officials report that some Russian troops have withdrawn from the Kharkiv city access and have redeployed to western Donetsk Oblast. So this is where I said they were going to abandon Kharkiv. They'll leave some resistance there, but they're going to try to reinforce their lines around Donetsk, and it would make the most sense for them to do so. Russian forces are continuing to suffer shortages of reserve manpower. Remember, I told you that they just don't have enough reserves. They don't have enough trained soldiers. And the people that they're using to replace their BTG's lost manpower are people from other broken units. And it just doesn't provide cohesive power. That's really what this second whole thing is about.
Yes, they moved a couple of BTGs from the east up on the Kharkiv side. Because Ukrainians just set up a new pontoon bridge to go over the river.
And they destroyed the main bridges leading out of Luhansk and Donetsk, isolating them which means that Russians have to set up pontoon bridges, or Ukrainians do. Ukrainians have further reach on their
Ukrainians
howitzers now.
Up in Kharkiv region, and the Russians try to use pontoon bridges in the east. The Russians weren't so lucky, and they failed. They had a big fail there.
So, guys, right now, Ukraine has a giant advantage with the M777 howitzers. M777 howitzers are able to easily outreach current Russian artillery pieces. The Russian artillery pieces can hit So basically, 60 to 75 kilometers is effective M777 howitzer range when you're talking about long range firing. For the Russians, theirs is 45 to 60. So right as you're getting to the edge of it's right as you're getting to the distance that you have to be in to hit, right? You're good. They're maxing themselves out, going as far as they can. You're easily within range of the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians can sit right outside of your range and just hit you all day long, and you're going to have to move up. And they know that, and they've been using it. And as you can see, around Kharkiv, that entire front has moved forward. They've finished the horseshoe. They're going to collapse that. These forces are gone up here in the north. They're just these guys need to. They should either surrender or cross over the border. It's that simple. Ukrainians have pushed all the way to the border here and all the way to the border up here in the north. The Russians are trying to complete a smaller encirclement down here. They're not going to be able to close the cauldron up here because Ukrainian forces are basically stopping them. They have a 2-to-1 force ratio in favor of the Ukrainians at these 2 points up here in the northern farthest point around the cauldron, and at the southern, at the most southern farthest point of the cauldron. So Russia is really they were going to try to cross through in the middle right here. They failed at that. They got destroyed and just beaten aback. So now they're going to try to connect these 2 points where you see my mouse going between. Yeah. So it's interesting. But also at the same time, Mariupol has finally fell entirely. The Red Cross was given direct access to those guys. There were leaked videos coming out of there of all these people who've been hit, whether they're soldiers or civilians, right? This soldier had an open head wound, and this civilian unfortunately was shot in the head. It's just horrific. This is what war is, guys. And you know, if you're a faint heart, you really don't want to be looking at this. I mean, this stuff's just crazy. People were cursing and belittling injured Russians. Listen, they're soldiers. They're doing what they're told to do. As long as they're not participating in war crimes, they're soldiers. So don't hate those guys. I don't agree with Russia. I don't support Russia. But at the same time, they're men, just like I was. And we need to be respectful of them as long as they follow the laws and rules of war. As weird as that sounds to say. So yeah, it's been crazy. Nothing too major outside of that's changed. In the Kursk area, you'll see that. Hold on, let me reopen the closed tab. So in the Kursk area, you will see that down here around Mykolaiv and so forth, you'll see that there are also, when I was talking about creating that horseshoe, they are continuing to try to control this entire front and push down into Kherson. The Russians, these red lines right here, that's where the Russians are being pushed back to, and they have been pushed back. Russia's in a really bad position. They have to move forces from here around Luhansk and Donetsk and up towards they've already retreated far enough from the Kharkiv front line. But around Luhansk and Donetsk, they're going to have to move forces from these focus points in order to reinforce Kherson. If not, within the next week, the Ukrainians will fully retake Kherson, and that opens them up to move directly down into Crimea. If Ukrainians take the fight into Crimea, it will be really, really, really bad for the Russians. Them being able to take Crimea would basically mean the fall of all the forces all the way up probably here to this little line through piece, which is where basically Ukrainian resistance and saboteurs are causing problems already for the Russians. There's going to be major fighting in this area, as we've already talked about before when I was doing some predictions with one of my friends. Unfortunately, he's no longer with the server. So we shall see what happens there. Russia needs to quickly mobilize new units or they're going to face absolute and utter defeat. And I don't know how Putin does that without declaring war. I don't think he can. And I'm not sure he has the political capital to do that and stay in power. So, yeah. What do you guys think about the war? Just over it? Just too slow?
Well, the Russians are trying to encircle in Luhansk region, but if they do manage to get till the Donetsk River, the Ukrainians will not be able to push them back anymore. So it's the same thing that Russians are experiencing right now, the 3-1 defensive
Hold on one
power.
second, guys. I apologize. Well, what the heck? Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to it either.
Yeah, they don't have defensive positions in the region after the river. Just so they don't have the defensive positions, big defensive positions after the river. Just in the region after inside the region after the Donetsk River. So they really can't hold them their positions.
All right, sorry, my kid called me. So all right. Yeah, this shit's crazy. So let's see. Northern Lights sent a frowny face. Ah, man. What is going on? So, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to hold that position. I mean, if they get pushed back beyond the Donetsk River, that would be great. But what I think is going to happen is that I said this before. They need to withdraw the forces around Kherson anyways, and they need to dig in on the Crimean line. If they do that, they have a chance. If not, I see the entire and absolute failure of the Russian military coming forward.
We already see that they moved the men from Luhansk and Donetsk region up to Kharkiv, and nothing changed. The Ukrainian offensive is still going on.
Yeah, and this is the part where Putin's gamble is now costing them instead of gaining territory. Down here in the south, yeah, they've gained some territory, but they're not. Odessa and Mykolaiv are going to be, if they try to capture them, they're going to be ungovernable. Even if they did, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's a huge concentration of forces right here between Mykolaiv and Kherson. They're going to have to do something.
I don't think there will be any progress in Kherson region because the bridge in Crimea is not in range of anything other than long range rockets. Like
well, they've hit it a few times, but what's happening?
You can't.
Sorry.
You can't set up like the howitzers that they got from America and shoot it like they do in Luhansk and Donetsk. So
no, absolutely,
they can only try to sabotage it or like infiltrate with a small.
Yeah, I was gonna say yes. They could send a soft squad in, but that would be risky, and it would have to be by ground or sea, which would be difficult also because they don't really have any open access to that part to the Azov Sea, so the Azov Peninsula. So we'll see what happens. It's always possible. We've seen the Ukrainians be incredibly resourceful before. They can probably pull it off again. So yeah. All right. Let's see. That's all, man. Everything else is quiet. So, they've retaken Sumy and Kharkiv, pushed into Izium. The biggest problem that they're going to run into is down here in this southern part, right? If they come down just a little bit more to right about here, all these forces in this entire area are going to be within artillery range. And that's their new command and control structure that they put up after they withdrew from Izium. So we shall see what happens. All right. Oh, man. This stuff is crazy. All right. Moving forward. Ellen Barkin says, jealous Johnny Depp threw wine bottle at her. Oh, Lord Jesus. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with did she defame him or not? I think we're just getting into the point of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing of being mudslinging. I think yesterday was the critical moment when Johnny Depp's team just destroyed Amber on the stand, and then when her lawyer tried to redirect, they just shut down the entire redirect. They were able to ask 3 out of 100 questions for redirect. So it was pure insanity. So unless something changes, none of this is going to matter. It's just mudslinging. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, the idea that this could happen in the justice system, like letting them ask hundreds of questions that have no meaning to the actual process, is like ludicrous, because it does not matter. Nothing will change.
Yeah. What is him having thrown a wine bottle across a room, right? Which they got out of this lady later, that she couldn't really speak as to whether it was at her because she wasn't mad at her. He was mad at someone else. Back in 1993, I think it was, or 1990. Oh, the 1990. Yeah, 1993. Guys, 1993 was 30 years ago.
The question: do crimes expire in the U.S.?
It depends, and depends on what state you're in, or if it's a federal crime. So like here in North Carolina, no felonies have statutes of limitations. So no crimes don't expire. But this right here, this would never be prosecuted in the first place. One, it would be an attempted misdemeanor, which is a very minor crime, and it's from 30 years ago. Statute of limitations is probably far past. So. That's older than Lights. Yeah, that is older than Northern Lights. Yes, it is.
They just want to model his character to have something.
Yeah, pretty much. Or where the sister contradicted herself on the stand, where she said Johnny punched her, but then she changed her story of exactly where it happened and where she got punched. And there's picture proof of all this other stuff. The other thing is Amber tried to put forward these pictures of where Johnny supposedly hit her, but you can literally see in a matter of hours between the pictures being taken that the injury moved somehow.
Wow.
Yo, I wonder if I could find that. So it would be New York Post has the coverage. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Let's see. Search. Depp would be the live X-Shrink. Johnny Depp expressed frustration with pain. Why Johnny's vibe lawyers, deliberate body language expert. Johnny Depp wears truth ring. Johnny Depp's complete dating history. We don't give a fuck about any of that. Don't give any. She's still. Oh, Amber Heard is still under investigation in Australia, and she admitted to perjury. So even if she comes out of this, she most likely is catching a felony charge in Australia. Then ex-friend Johnny Depp is jealous streak, once envied. See more stories. I'm looking for the live coverage. They showed oh, this one's from Duolingo. Help cover her bruises. I don't know, man. This is craziness. Welcome everybody who just joined. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. I'm looking for something specific right now where they were talking. Oh, here, I think it's where basically her injury changed its position in the photos. Looks like they got removed, but anyways, her inside of her photos, the injury moved places. It was magical moving injuries, Northern, exactly. It was just, it's insanity. It's just pure insanity. So we shall see. All right. So moving on, Elon Musk won't donate to GOP nominee who takes on Biden. So there was this big story that basically Elon said that he was looking for an alternative. He had never voted for anyone but a Democrat before that he could remember, he could think of. He votes for the people who make the most sense to him, but so far that had been the Democratic Party until this last election, and that he most likely will be voting Republican this time. Now this has to do with American politics, but that's a big deal. So like me, I'm a centrist, and I'm still somehow magically registered Democrat. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I went to go vote in the Republican primaries because I was supposed to be independent, and I have a copy of the paperwork I filled out to make myself independent and change my voting registration, and somehow magically my local election
But
authority
why
did
does
not
it
change it.
matter how you're registered in America? Because
So how you're
What's a
registered?
voting registration?
Yeah, so a voting registration is where you say, "Hey, I register to vote. This is where I live." So that way you can vote for the appropriate people for where you live, right? And
oh, we don't have that in Romania.
Yeah.
We just vote with our ID. Everyone
Yeah.
votes with ID.
yeah, so you can't, and then you need so the ID law is, so you have to register to vote. So that way they can give you, this is the place you're supposed to go vote. And then,
Yes, that's what happens in Romania today.
yeah,
They take you. I mean, they put you on a section like every school in our town gets certain streets, and you go to nearest school that you're assigned to, and that's where you vote.
exactly. So that's what we do. So I went, and mine was in Charlotte, which is controlled by Democrats and is a Democratic bastion here in North Carolina. And I updated my voter registration card to say, hey, I live in Concord now, and I need to vote there, and I want to register as independent. Now, why is that important? So when you have primaries or caucuses, so the Democrats have caucuses, the Republicans have primaries, and that's who chooses who's going to represent the party in the election, right? So you can have 3 Republicans that you need to choose from, or 3 Democrats that you choose from. And those are the people that, so to participate in the caucuses of the primaries, you have to be of one of the parties, or you have to be an independent. Independents can participate in both. I have my paperwork from where I updated it, because I printed out the PDF and I submitted it, and I have my submission record. But apparently they did not, my local Democratic Board of Elections did not update me to be an independent from a Democrat, and left my address the same. So I was not able to take part in the Republican primaries here in Concord. But I'm an independent. So it was very interesting. But basically, Elon Musk has said that he is going to be independent, and he most likely is going to be voting for not Biden. He just feels that currently our system is jacked up. But he also went and extended forward that he also is not going to allow his money to weigh into politics, because he disapproves basically of how corporations are now considered people, and basically multimillionaires can form super PACs and spend unlimited money inside of elections, and he feels that it's wrong and gives them too much of a voice. And I totally agree with that. So that happened today. Go ahead.
Elon Musk talking about millionaires having too much of a voice
in politics. So here we have this thing called a super PAC. There was a ruling called Citizens United that happened here in the United States that basically said corporations are people, which allowed them to have the ability to spend money on political campaigns. So corporations can fund candidates. And 501(c)(3)s have unlimited spending power. They're just not allowed to directly coordinate with the candidate, right? So let's say you're a multi-billionaire and you want to get someone into office. You can found a super PAC, send millions of dollars to it, and buy ads in unlimited amounts for and take unlimited amounts of donations, and you can use it entirely for political purposes to get whoever you want elected. And what this does is that super PACs then can go and have representatives that go to, like, let's say a congressman's office and say, you know what, I'd really like you to pass this law. And if you don't, you know, I may just have to fund someone against you in your primary or in your caucus when you run again, you know, because this law is really important to us. And they say that doesn't give more political say to these huge corporations or billionaires than it does a normal person.
I just feel this is just a money laundering scheme or something.
It's a way to get around political Yeah, it's a way to get around political donation limits.
your parties get money get money from the state?
No. So our state, we do not have state-funded elections.
Huh.
Would
Yeah.
anyone mind if I melt? Yes, Jim, we would mind if you melt. Come back. So anyways,
This is weird.
yeah, it's just weird. So I believe that we should have that corporations are not people. And I believe that corporations, because you can't kill a corporation, guys. They don't have a natural lifetime. All right. Humans do. Okay. Also, corporations are made up of multitudes of people and a board of directors. They should not have political speech. They have too much money and too much sway. And because they have employees that they could technically hold hostage unless they voted a certain way, I just think it's wrong. I know that technically they're not allowed to do that, but in right to work states, which doesn't mean right to work, it means right to fire. Right to work states, you can be terminated without cause. So
Is it normal for you to openly say what you're voting for?
me?
No, for Americans.
No, so we usually don't. But there are people who openly support candidates on shirts, buttons, other things like that. And it's caused turmoil sometimes for some people. Like example, I was involved in a political movement called Law Resistance, right? And Law Resistance, the whole point of it was to remove people from power who felt that they didn't have to be fiscally accountable. It didn't matter what party you were in, that felt they didn't have to be fiscally accountable to the people. Because of that, I lost a position at a large company and got a nice little settlement out of it, actually. Yeah, that allowed me not to work for a year. So that was cool. But, yeah, it can affect you, especially in today's polarized. This is right when like super polarization was taking place and people were getting fired because of supporting radical movements. Which mine wasn't a radical movement. It basically controlled the elections of 2 counties and changed their outcomes. And we put forward candidates and all of them won. So, can't be that radical. But the whole idea was they were doing these public-private partnerships like we were having in our discussion before we got on the stream. And we felt that if there's going to be a public-private partnership, then there should be open bids for that public-private partnership, that they should be discussed, that there should be open communication, that they shouldn't be decided in closed county commissioner board meetings or city council board meetings without people being able to hear what's being done, what's being proposed, and what's being spent. It's our government. We should know what you're doing. I don't know how that was. I don't know how that was extreme, but apparently people thought that, well, we need to be able to, so their main thing was we should have the ability to spend, what did you say? So I missed it. So basically we felt that when you are doing public-private partnerships, the county commissioners, the board of county commissioners shouldn't be deciding those in closed meetings, and neither should the city council. If these are going to be things that cost taxpayers money, then they should have open bids and the process should be transparent. So yeah.
The USA have laws for things like for public interest, like you can access information for public interest, like
Yeah, we have some of them, and then we also have Freedom of Information Act disclosures and stuff like that. But the lower down, like when you get to city and county politics, not state or federal, the waters get a lot more muddy, right? As far as what they're required to do and not required to do. So, anyways, but apparently that point of view that they should be accountable and how they spend and how they choose to spend it with, that they should be held accountable in those situations. Apparently, that's an extreme idea. So, and it was because we didn't care if the person was Republican or Democrat. And honestly, some counties, a Democrat will never be elected, right? And there are certain counties where a Republican will never be elected. And so, of course, we're not going to back candidates who are Democrats in counties where they can't win. We had them change parties. So, Yeah, and Jay the Giant Peach makes a good point, and I know that there's a lot of stuff about openness and stuff like that, but when it comes to the city manager awarding contracts and stuff, they're not required a lot of times to make those things public here in North Carolina. So, yeah, that's what we were fighting for. That these public-private partnerships and these site selectors that help people get grants. Because it was funny, if you go and you try to bring a business to this specific county that I'm talking about, if you don't use a site selector, your chances of getting any type of tax benefits or development grants or development loans from the county or the city become about 3%. Now, if you want to use one of their site selectors, it's about 90. But and then what was weird is people would go from working with the city or county and go to, once they exited office, they would go to working with these site selector companies or getting kickbacks or having their own interactions with them from their own business. It was just really shady. So all right, so yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, getting a phone call from jail. I'll call them back later. I swear to God, if I have to bail one more person out. All right, moving forward. So yeah, it's been crazy, but I agree with this. The whole idea that millionaires can somehow throw millions of dollars towards a specific candidate if they quote unquote don't directly coordinate with them is just ridiculous and shouldn't be done. I don't know. I think that we should model our stuff more like an international, more like the international elections. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All right, so let's see. We already looked at this. All right, so there's some other things coming out. Apparently, there's some OnlyFans stars that were claiming they had sexual relations with Meta workers to resolve Instagram bans. And apparently got unbanned by banging people at Meta. So an OnlyFans creator who was blocked on Instagram claims to have devised a salacious way to get her account restored by having sex with Meta, formerly known as Facebook employees. Amateur pornographer known as Kitty Lixo on Instagram and OnlyFans dropped the scandalous allegation on the No Jumper podcast.
Sounds like Meta.
Yeah. All you have to do is have someone really, really like you. That's not what that is. They don't really, really like you. They really, really like what you let them do to you. It's entirely different, guys. Let's just be clear. So the Skinfluencer explained in the segment with the podcast host Adam, where it boasts 900,000 views. In the shocking clip caption, "How to get your Instagram back if it gets deleted," claims she slept with multiple Meta workers after her Instagram account got shut down like 3 or 4 times. It's unclear what she'd been flagged for, but the adult entertainer frequently linked her OnlyFans account on her page. The Daily Dot reported advertising porn sites against it. Post has reached out to Meta for comment, and they have refused it. So yeah, it's insanity. Lixo added that her inside guy subsequently informed her that what the review process is like when you get your Instagram account shut down. Basically, she manipulated the system by using the fact that she's willing to be a ho-ho. And I mean that as in the chocolate goodiness that is ho-hos. They're amazing. You should try them. Ding dongs also work. Northern Lights can tell you all about trying the big black ding dongs. They're fucking gigantic. You only have to buy them sometimes. Sometimes you can just get them for free. So anyways, this took a turn the wrong way. So yeah, apparently you can sleep with people in Meta and get your account back. I hope they look into this. It doesn't surprise me. I'm not surprised by this. If this is true, it doesn't surprise me. It sounds like Meta.
Gamergate, right? A new Gamergate.
I guess, except the inverse, I guess. And this time it'll actually be true. Don't get me started on Anna Sarkeesian. Listen, anytime I've ever been in a video game and someone just started becoming an asshole to somebody because they were a female, that shit got shut down real quick. I've never had someone just sit there and be able to just harass some chick and no dude say nothing. Like, that shit don't happen in video games I'm in. I don't know about y'all, and I know that definitely Tobias
Yeah.
plays video games, and I don't think we would ever tolerate that behavior. And I don't know any guy that would. Go ahead.
Nah. No, I mean I've not
The
not
gamer.
played much with I've never encountered this before. So.
Yeah. So it was. I was talking about Gamergate was about basically females getting harassed in like game lobbies and stuff like that by male players, and I've never experienced that, guys. And maybe it's just me. So. And if you think people are actually cared about it or just thought it was a good scapegoat to get free money from a place like Facebook who can afford it, maybe. I mean, if this comes out to be true, this may open up a lot of civil liability to Facebook, and they're going to go for the claim we're a private company and, those employees acted not on our behalf. But it means they don't have secondary checks in place. When someone goes to unban an account that's been banned, there should be a check in place that someone else has to go and check behind them and approve it, right? And if they don't have those types of controls, then that's a failure for them, and rightfully so. But Instagram is a great source for people who are content creators, of like art and modeling and photography and stuff. Not so much for podcasters. That to be removed from it is highly damaging to you as a thing. So yeah. Did you hear about the Facebook settlement in Illinois? No, I did not hear about the Facebook settlement in Illinois. Let's look that up. Let's see. Facebook biometric information privacy litigation settlement lawsuit. Illinois Facebook users to receive class action lawsuit settlement payments of up to $400. What? Facebook users in Illinois who applied to collect a settlement stemming from a class action could see their payment any day now. The lawsuit was filed over Facebook's collection and storing of biometric data of Illinois users without proper consent. What? Again, not surprised. They sell people's information, your picture data, all types of stuff to like AI software recognition companies and allow it to be scraped and give special permissions to companies who pay for it so that they can access your photos and other things. You guys should really read your terms of service and make sure that you don't put any photos out there that you don't want people to have forever. So Jay says that she got $397 for her. Okay, so twice. So man, they almost got $800. That's insane. Oh, hey Luna. How you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Missed your faces. So, anyways, that's insanity, man. All right. Let's see. Oh man, more Elon Musk stuff. Let's go dailymail.com. We got us some British tabloids going on here. Fears monkeypox is in Manhattan as New York City health chiefs probe possible case of rare virus and patient is treated in hospital. That's fucking scary. Let's see. This is Jason Cawthorn calling for stupid stuff. I'm looking for some international news, man. Let's go. Is international news not exist anymore? Like what's going on? Oh, this is the woman where he basically beat her with a hammer in the head until she died. Fucking crazy. That's insane. All right. Well, I don't have much more, guys. Let's see if we can find some international news. So, let's try to be a little bit unbiased. So, google.com/news. Luna said, "Picks for $397. You're one step closer to OnlyFans, Jay. One
Oh,
step
by the
closer."
way, did you hear about the Chinese passports? How they cut them
Oh
if
yeah,
you want to leave the
they're
country?
clipping the edges just like they're doing in Russia. Yeah, I heard about that. I was gonna cover that in a moment. So looks like Turkey was talking about blocking Sweden and Finland, and there was some reports around. Hold on, I need to pull up a map. We're gonna use your country as a basis, but I need to go and look. There was also a thing saying the Croatian president is going to order the NATO representative not to vote. Well, the thing is, people don't understand is that it was brought up later that the Croatian president doesn't have that type of power. The prime minister and the parliament in Croatia are the people who have power over the native representative. And the president was just talking out of his ass. He's basically the minority leader, and the prime minister is the majority leader. So that's how that works in Croatia. So that was a thing that came out. And that basically Turkey is going to block Sweden and Finland unless they agree to no longer allow or harbor the PKK. It's the Kurdish. It's a Kurdish fighters group that one of their leaders tried to overthrow the Turkish government in 2016. So that was a thing. Also, Chinese residents are being urged not to leave China for any reason. And to stay in China. And if you return to China right now, they'll clip the ends of the corner of your passport, which makes it where you can't leave the country, and you have to basically seek permission again from the local Communist Party and the lead Communist Party just to leave the country. They're also doing this for students who are home temporarily on leave for the summer, and that some of them have not been able to get permission to go back to the States to start going to college again, or other quote unquote unfriendly countries. So,
Oh, they aren't letting small children to go outside to school, like
mhm.
elementary school or high school. They don't let them anymore. Only if they go to university, and they even ask if they have like offline textbooks. Like
Yep.
they want to milk every information from the West.
Yep. Chinese authorities have dismissed citizen reports of passport clipping and seizure of green cards by border control after the country's top immigration authority restricted travel in order to reduce COVID cases. They're saying that it's about COVID, and they have their zero tolerance policy is exactly that, zero tolerance for COVID. And it's really the idea of getting back to normalcy. That was another article that was up that China's zero tolerance policy is becoming very problematic for the rest of the world because they're closing down major infrastructure and exports that other countries rely on. And this is where we get into, maybe it's best that we, how do I put this nicely? Basically, we should be able to produce anything here in America at some form of price just in case stuff like this happens, because though we're not feeling the immediate effects of the work stoppages, we'll feel them in about 30 days. So
You're explaining exactly the gas situation in Austria and Germany.
the gas situation in Austria and Germany. Oh yeah. Can you send me an article, or do you want to talk about it? I mean, that's your backyard, man.
Article, but that's exactly the same problem, being reliant on another country producing it.
Mm-hmm. The ripple effects of if anything goes wrong in diplomatic or economic relations. Yeah. And that they keep affecting everyone. So Jay the Giant Peach. Oh yes, I read an article about a reporter and how weird the flight was out of BC. All the flight attendants were like, "You're about to be in a whole new world, and we don't wear masks." I feel like more and more countries are isolating themselves. Kind of scary, says Luna. Yeah, it seems that Russia and China are isolating themselves for different reasons. China, unfortunately, because of the way that they've built their, very few people live in the countryside unless they're farmers. Everybody really lives in cities or in close, really populated cities and on top of each other. So, it will. I just don't know how to feel about this one. I understand what people are saying. I understand where we're getting to. I just don't know how we fix it, right? So that's the real question for me. Is how do we've become so reliant on producing everything in China because it was so cheap, but it's become less and less cheap as the cost of living has went up, as wages have gone up in China. China has some very unfair trade practices they put in place, and also with the tariffs and other things, things have become more expensive to produce in China. Maybe it's time we look at how can we entice or make it viable for companies to make something in our countries. Right now, you cannot buy, for example, microwaves are a key staple of any household. You cannot buy a microwave that is U.S. made. There are none. They don't exist.
Well, with such a high taxation in USA, you can't have a company making something locally. That's why they try to
And
make something abroad and
you
Mhm.
try
can
to,
do it in the US, but
yeah, they,
it's more expensive than in China. So obviously they go for China, even though uh, it would be entirely possible in the US.
It is entirely possible in the U.S., but someone doesn't want to pay $6 to $13 more for something that you purchase. So the difference between us making a a very mid-level microwave here in the U.S. versus when it went overseas was about $7, which translates to about 13 now. Okay, it's a $13 difference. But when you look at that across hundreds of thousands of units, then they're missing, $3-4 million. And so that's the problem that we run out into is that the literally that difference at scale, and this is where we get into the scaling problem. It just makes it impossible.
Yeah, but it's just the problem with China is even though it's cheaper, it doesn't give a shit about the work ethics, and it also doesn't give a shit about
oh,
the
by the way,
environment.
And
do you
and
know that the drones that are made
And
in China
that's
that
another reason why we should stop producing everything in China.
Mhm.
But as long as we're letting this happen,
I think the only way to
everything
disincentivize
being
this. Good, sorry.
cheaper,
Hmm.
everything being cheaper in China, it won't stop because a company usually doesn't care about the environment.
The other thing is that when it's in China, they'll take your proprietary technology and just rip it off. They don't care. And they require you to disclose it. And you have to give it to a Chinese company. And it has to be a Chinese company that produces it. And Amazon, I talked about this before with how it affected Microsoft and how it created a secondary product as a byproduct of it. But it's rare that companies change their IP in that way because it's very hard to do. So they just end up getting ripped off, 7, 8 years down the road,
well,
if that long.
it, it's not about ripping off. It's everything that's made in China is a security problem. Just so you know, in the Ukraine war,
Hmm.
Ukrainians are using Chinese drones, and the Chinese gave the codes how to identify and geolocate drones,
Hmm.
and the Russians are using it. And
Yeah, that's why
I
they don't want any Chinese drones. We actually sourced American drones to send to Ukraine. Um, so really quickly got brought up, the whole thing with baby formula. People are starting to scout baby formula, right? And our imports are so restricted on it, but they're also going to be reopening that factory that got shut down. They made the changes, and there's going to be on-site government regulators that are dedicated to just that site to make sure they follow rules, so they can get it quickly back up and running.
What's baby formula?
Baby milk, where you take the powder and make the baby's milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
So, go ahead. Sorry.
why not all the way? Why? Where's the mommy?
Well, not all women can produce breast milk like that, my dude.
Oh,
Some
iron and
women
egg.
have issues where they take medications where they can't breastfeed. Um, Midwives have pretty much become extinct. It's considered kind of gross to have someone else feed their breast milk to your kid for some reason here, even though it's kind of been natural throughout most of history. And the thing is that um, some women just don't produce milk, and it sort of sucks.
Gonna
I
say,
feel kind of weird explaining this. Good.
It's strange how human
do you want me to
evolution
help explain
was
this?
like changed because of technology.
What's that,
I
Jay?
mean,
I said, do you want my help explaining this as a mother?
I can't remember why women have trouble producing milk. I just
So-
know it can happen.
There's sometimes you just don't produce enough. So like when I had my child, he was like 3 weeks early, and so his birth weight was too low. And in order for him to build that up, I had to give him formula until my milk came in.
Mm-hmm. And also, you have to
sometimes
enrich
people
it.
don't want to.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
it's not fun.
yeah,
Like,
you
yo, they make creams and stuff because like women get raw. Like you're literally having someone like literally gum the fuck out of your skin. It's like Indian burn can happen, except on very sensitive parts. So, you know.
yeah,
That's
but
what it's like in the US.
I'm
Why not
talking about
everybody
human
uses it?
evolution. Like, if human evolution, like if the human didn't evolve to the females to make enough milk, and we change it with technology, like the females will pass on their genes, and the children will survive, and the genes will get passed on, and the problem will persist.
So that's
So,
not
it-
that's the survival of
Yeah,
the
well,
fittest.
that,
So
that,
hold on,
that
hold
that's the evolution of the humankind.
hold on. So that's survival of the fittest. It's an ideal,
Yeah, but
right?
that's
Oh,
what evolution is.
hold on. There are things that are non-evolutionary that cause early birth. Okay. We have modern science for a reason, and though I do agree that sometimes we intervene when things shouldn't happen, and I understand genetics, I think that saying someone's child doesn't get to eat because they can't produce enough milk, we're not going to go that direction here, Domo. We got to be
It's
careful.
not
This is
about
YouTube.
good and bad.
Hold on, hold
It's
on. No,
about-
no. I will get banned off YouTube. Stop.
Okay,
We cannot have this conversation. Okay.
Also, another thing is, evolution is still happening, and when we have the technology to feed kids, even though we can't breastfeed them, then we will evolve that way. But it doesn't matter because we are able to do it.
Well, even for thousands of years, anyone who's been able to afford it could have had someone else feed their child. It's been going on since the days of the Egyptian Empire. The earliest recorded use of midwives is on hieroglyphics, like when we were building the fucking pyramids. Like, so it's always been a question of means, not of genetics, and we're not going to have. So what you're talking about could be misconstrued as why can't I think of what we called it? Eugenics, and we're not going to have eugenics conversations on YouTube. It'll get you banned instantaneously.
I understand.
Okay.
Also,
So
I
we're
think
not.
it goes back millions of years ago, probably.
Yeah. So
I mean, even animals do that.
yeah, they co-feed children that if one mom can't make enough. I mean, lions do it, deer, gazelles, all types of different animals do it. So yeah. So all right, so no, that's the deal. But the Biden administration has laxed up the imports for on formula and stuff like that. But yeah, we were talking about China, and to go back to that, the Chinese import situation is just crazy. And so the only way I know that we could possibly try to get companies to try to make things locally is to put tariffs in place. But tariffs have other negative effects because usually countries retaliate on tariff when you put tariffs on them. So they don't like that, and especially. But the problem is that we've let China get away with things for so long, such as manipulating their exchange rate. When you exchange money in to the Chinese economy, you get more than you get out. And they do this thing that's basically they price their exit higher than their, and that's against the World Trade Organization. They violated WTO rules for so long, yet we've just let them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would be a good idea.
You said what?
I think tariff would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. We just have to deal
But
with a
I know-
rebuttal from them. So yeah.
I know there are some companies that are tax exempted. USA, like big corporations that we have in Romania like supermarkets that come from Germany, and media markets like Altex or so that are people from outside that come in, and some are exempt of taxes or are reduced in taxes just because they can't come here. Can't the USA just bring someone and like cut the tax in half or something?
The
They
thing
don't.
is that it takes time to build and tool out a manufacturing plant like that, right? So the good thing is that we're bringing back chip production. We're about to be producing chips in 2 states. Oh, someone mentioned that in chat. Yeah, we're starting to be able to. So Forcell, as he said, chip factories are in the works in Arizona and Ohio. So we won't have to worry about if China takes Taiwan, right? But that takes years to develop chip foundries, right? To build a chip foundry takes 5 to 8 years. So we're building chip foundries. We're working on it. It takes time, and convincing these some of these companies are getting much better profits off of their having Chinese companies produce them and not asking where the Chinese companies are getting their labor or their parts. And unfortunately, China is the only country on the earth that I'm aware of that has governed sanctioned slavery. Guys, the Uyghurs, the Muslim Uyghurs, they are incarcerated in re-education camps where they live their entire lives. These are entire cities where all they do is work in factories producing things. Right? And for some reason, no one talks about this. Huh? What was that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Who are those people? I didn't quite understand.
The Muslim Uyghurs. They're called Uyghurs.
The Uyghurs. It's spelled completely different in German.
Okay.
We say Uiguren.
Yeah. They're slaves, guys, and it's modern slavery.
I know, it is.
And we, for some reason, aren't banding together to say this is an abomination. Slavery anywhere, no matter race, color, creed, or religion, is wrong, and no one should be enslaved.
Because we profit off it. That's the whole reason.
Mm-hmm. So, it's a blight on our it's a stain on our society. Period. Let's see. There's a lot of women who do that. Never thought I'd be contributing to the cast. Glad my mom boots me to that. All right, so Jay was like, Jay said she never thought she would be contributing to our podcast, and we thank you for your contribution. You're listening to NPR. All right, no, this is not actually NPR, but moving forward. It's crazy that in modern day society we have to state these things, and people who are saying we should be more like China and we need to have closer ties to China and that China is great and they're a great socialist ideal. No, guys, it is an evil place. I know lots of people who are from there, and I'm gonna see if I can get some of my Chinese friends on. I'm not against the Chinese people. I find their work ethic and their culture quite admirable. I have a problem with the Chinese Communist Party, and I want to be clear. When I say the Chinese, I don't mean the Chinese people. I mean the Chinese Communist Party, because unlike Russia, a majority of their people disagree with how their country and their government works. But unfortunately, they are neutered. They have no weapons. They have no way to stand up. They can't do anything about it. And the Chinese government will disappear you in a hot second. They give no shits. And they don't even have to anymore. With the social credit score system, they can just remove your social credit score. You won't be able to do anything, and you just starve to death on the side of the road. And then they use you as an example. So, anyways, but moving on. Let me see what's going on. I don't know why my mic is jumping up and down while I'm not saying anything. There we go. All right. So, Jim, you have 6 sisters. That's crazy. All right. So moving onward. So yeah, we got to fix that's a big issue around China. We may do an entire podcast on that because we could definitely sit on that subject all day long. China and Taiwan, I think, is going to pop off soon. Like, they're going to make some form of move. China and Russia. China's going to do China guys, and Russia, I think, is going to become a more subservient state to China. And I see that block really. I mean, it's a parasitic relationship, right? But in this instance, the parasite, which is Russia, the parasite, which is China, is actually bigger and more powerful than the thing it's feeding off of. So we'll see what happens there. They did a good job. I think they kind of prodded Putin because they knew it was going to go one of two directions, and both were beneficial to them. So yeah, it's craziness. All right. Excuse me, guys. Ah, man. Oh. Huh. So I got to be careful what I show here. I don't want people to see what this is, but you guys should be able to see. Be careful what I show. Hold on, let me do this. Can I hide this part? So this is this right here. We were talking about China, and look what popped up. He was a live donor. For the first time, we have proof of China's organ harvesting operations. Literally just got posted. So that's insane. We were talking. Let's look at that. That might be something we can. Maybe we'll just keep the topic on China. This. You guys believe in fate? I don't know. So it says he was a live donor. New research proves China's forced organ harvesting has killed live donors. Oh, I don't have a Daily Wire account, and I don't want to sign up to the Daily Wire. Dr. Enver Toti. So he was a live donor. China live donor proof of organ harvesting. And then who was the doctor? Enver Toti. And the thing is that they have so much influence that even media publications, the NBA, Hollywood movie studios will not stand up to them, because if you capture just 1% of the market in China, it far outweighs more money than you're going to get in other countries. So, can I explain what organ harvesting is? Yes. So basically what happens is that, let's say my kidneys are failing, right? And I'm rich as fuck. So what I can do is I can go to the Chinese government and I can say, hey, I need this kidney. Can you source it for me? And when I say go to the Chinese government, I go to Chinese doctors, right? And I need a kidney and I'm willing to pay. And they give you a price and you pay it. And they go to the Uyghur population usually, and they will find you a matching kidney donor, and they will take their fucking kidney. And they use you basically as a donor, and they will take some. It's been reported. There's never been actual picture, photo evidence, documentation, but plenty of people who've given accounts of it that are consistent, follow the same pattern, even though these people have never spoken to each other or seen the reports of the other person. To the point where if someone gives a consistent pattern of behavior demonstrated in a situation, and there's multiple people who do this who know nothing of each other, the likelihood of them lying when it's consistent like that is minuscule. So it says basically the PRC is widely alleged to be a major harvester and trafficker of forcibly acquired organs. And this means you're not willingly giving up this organ. You're not getting paid for this organ. They're coming and they're forcibly taking it from you and giving it to this rich person who's unable to pay them, right? And it's black market body parts. Whether it be stem cells or a lung or kidneys or other types of things, it doesn't matter. And it's insane. So, available information in case the Falun Gong practitioners have been the primary victims of this cruel practice, and there are now allegations that imprisoned Uyghurs, and other ethnic and religious minorities are also victims, based in part on accounts of mandatory medical testing in Xinjiang. which is the Xinjiang province, consistent with preparation for organ removal. Since 2015, Chinese authorities have claimed the only source of organs are from voluntary donors, but there are doubts as to the veracity of this claim. Guys, for them to produce the level... So here's the reason why there was doubt around the veracity of the claim, right? They say they're from voluntary donors, but the amount of donors that voluntarily come forward and give you certain body parts would require a death rate that's much higher for certain ones, and then for others, you know, I don't know 100,000 people who are willing to give up their kidneys to a random stranger. It's
I time my head out. It's almost 3 a.m.
Oh, I understand, man. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, my dude. We're gonna be wrapping up here soon, but thank you so much for joining us. You guys, thank Tobias. He joins us quite often, and it's nice to have his perspective. Good Nacht.
Good Nacht. You just said good naked.
I know, I said that before. Good Nacht. Whatever.
Gute Nacht.
Good Nacht. I messed it up. I know. I said that before. I'm the one who makes these points of like, yo, you can say good naked and you don't mean to. And I just did it because I didn't fucking pronounce the... It's like clearing out your throat. All right, moving forward. So let's see. It says Trafficked. So J.E. the Giant Peach says Trafficked is an amazing documentary. They talk about it in one of the episodes. Oh, cool. Yeah, check that out. Northern Light says that's fuck. They could have been offered a lot of money. Body farming is crazy. Yes, it is, and it happens. And it happens. Northern Light says goodnight, Tobias. Chat says goodnight. There we go. Salute, my dude. All right, everybody left. We are by ourselves, North. We're by ourselves. Domo left too. Damn. I wish I would have noticed Domo was leaving. We'll say goodnight to him. At Domo. Yeah. Good Nacht and Good Nacht is good naked versus good night. Oh, what's up, Tarkin? What's up? What is up, homie? We miss you. You should come chill with us at some point. Tark. All right, so that's really where it's at, man. I mean, the Uyghurs, the Tibetans, Muslims, Christians that are in detention in China basically get harvested for organs. That's what that is. So... let's see. White House struggles to explain baby formula production plan. That was about an hour ago. That's from the New York Times. A day after... What the fuck was that? What are... I swear to God. Let's go over here. Right click. New incognito window. Oh, oops. There we go. Son of a bitch. Okay. We're going to refresh this. It's not showing up. It's not letting me do it. It's all right. Basically, they're having trouble talking about how they're actually going to get the stock up, even though they implemented the national shortage, whatever piece. So yeah, it's interesting. So NPR put out a decent article on this too. Won't lie. All right, so let's go back to the New York Post. Let's see if there's anything else left. This night just might be a nice short night. Well, you know what? We should really talk about China and the abuses against Uyghurs and talk about how we can stop fueling that and have a discussion about, as a society, what we're willing to accept and sort of the things that are working against us, and maybe have a bigger conversation around that. Seems like a good idea. Wrong place, right? Ex-college hoopster found shot. Burned, was innocent bystander in deadly New York City gang war. See, guys, this is a doomed young couple found shot to death and burned beyond recognition in a car at a Bronx park were victims of a deadly gang war sparked by a stolen purse, law enforcement told the Post. It's fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. So here we go. We go here. A doomed young couple found shot by a private lot. So Nikki Hong and ex-college hoopster Jesse Perilla, 22, were executed in a series of retaliatory shootings that erupted after Hong griped to her gangster pals that a rival crew mugged her last Sunday, stealing her handbag, the sources said Thursday. So Hong was apparently with this guy, and she had a bunch of gangster pals that she said, hey guys, these people stole my shit. And so of course they go handle business for their girl, and next thing you know, there's a gang war. She's hanging out with a dude who just thought she was cute, and they get shot and burned alive over a handbag that he didn't know shit about. It's fucking crazy. Tarkin says she is good. I'm glad to hear that. Perilla was not part of the deadly beef between the rival up the hill and the down the hill crews. Oh my god. Y'all, get some better gang names. Up the hill, down the hill. Come on, guys. What the fuck is that? Burned over a handbag. Y'all motherfuckers fighting over a handbag. You understand? Like, if we were fighting over, like, you stole, like, 100 pounds of weed or some shit, and so there's a gang war and you burning people, okay, like, I disagree with it, but I could understand that's some gangsta ass shit. But y'all motherfuckers are literally fighting over bitch got a handbag stolen. So yeah, and wound up getting mixed up in the bloodshed while spending time with Hong. Right now, it looks like he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He has no criminal record. It looks like he was just hanging out with Nikki. The ex-hoopster's mother, Michelle Morales, who owned the car the pair were killed in, said her son knew Hong from middle school. He was a good-hearted person just helping a friend out with a ride. I don't think he was aware of anything. He had no idea what was going on because he would never have put himself in a situation like that. That shit's crazy. I love that summary. Not the summary details, but the way you talked. Like, yo, like, I come from this life. Like, I won't lie. Like, yo, I used to do the damn thing. Like, I come from this. But this is the shit I'm talking about, where young bucks just start doing dumb shit. I guarantee you these are some young motherfuckers. Like, who just, now it's because of drill rap and all this shit, motherfuckers go straight to I'm gonna start shooting people and stuff. It makes no goddamn sense. Like, it makes no sense. Like, if you're gonna go okay, so let me explain something. It's really simple, okay? And I had this really simple, methodical way to explain this shit to some gorilla ass motherfuckers, okay? And when I say gorilla ass, that has nothing to do with, it means muscle bound, like, yo, go get them. Let's fight type dudes. It's not a negative thing. It's a negative and a positive. Whatever. Like, it's just simple. Do you like doing what you do without police being on your shit? You can get in a fist fight and cops are not gonna give a fuck. When you start leaving bodies in the street, that gets fucking attention. If there's a lot of attention on your neighborhood, alright, you are not going to be able to do what you got to do to survive. It's that simple, right? There's one rule in the streets, right? And that's survive, right? There's other secondary rules, such as don't shit where you eat, right? Get money, not bullets, right? We like to get money, not end up in a grave, okay? It's that simple. These are simple things, right? You don't bring heat to where you eat, period. Unless just some crazy ass shit's going down. Like some motherfucker, you see him, he got a gun, he's starting to pull that shit out. You may have to do what you got to do. But you do not bring heat to where you eat, period. You just don't do it. But young bucks these days don't think about that. Now, you can't be out on the block. They see you, they're going to come up and fuck with you. Right? Never keep the money with the drugs. Another simple rule. Like, I shouldn't be teaching people this. Y'all don't do criminal shit. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're gonna be doing criminal shit, at least be smart about it. Like, police heavy patrolling your neighborhood does not help you survive to get the money you gotta get and get the fuck out the game. It's that fucking simple. This shit is ridiculous. And anyways, moving forward. Sorry guys, I'm free. This is what happens when you freehand it and you fucking speed back from 2.5 hours away. So I'm so angry and devastated and hurt that my son was taken away from me, just like that. The words he said to me when I was finally able to talk to him was, "I love you." The bodies of the tragic young couple were found in a charred car around 4:30 a.m. Monday at the Pelham Split Rock Golf Course in the Bronx, with a few clues to help cops. But detectives now suspect that the tragic series of events led to the young couple being shot to death and burned were set in motion after Hong 23 was robbed near a housing project on the Lower East Side. The Lower East Side is part of Manhattan, guys. So just to be clear, they're no longer talking about the Bronx. Her assailants were allegedly members of a local crew that calls itself Down the Hill Gang, law enforcement said. The young woman, whose family owns a nail salon and restaurant on the Lower East Side, happened to have friends in the rival Up the Hill Gang. Instead of going to the police, she complained about the crime to them. Police sources said the two gangs are second-generation Big Apple crews, with Down the Hill Gang calling Alphabet City its turf. Okay, guys, so Alphabet City is a set of housing projects that are labeled A, B, C, D, and E inside of the Bronx, and that's why it's called, because they're labeled by the letters. And you say I live in Project A, right? You live in Project B. That's why it's called That's why it's called Alphabet City. So they're using some terms here people would not know. Police sources say the two gangs are second generation. Yeah. We already talked about that. They're not affiliated with national gangs, but have been immersed in turf wars for years, as far off as San Francisco and as closely as Paterson, New Jersey. So that was a big joke. Yeah, Luna, I get it. Sources said the payback began Sunday with a series of shootings. At 11:18, 39-year-old reputed member of the Downhill Gang, Brandon Atkins, was gunned down in Alphabet City, police said. It wasn't known if Atkinson was actually the mugger who stole the purse, but he was rushed to Bellevue Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Downhill Gang's payback came quickly, as less than an hour later, two Uphill members were shot, dead, and wounded on Pike Street. This is how, y'all, over a motherfucking purse. We got at least 8 people dead over a purse. That is not some G shit to be fighting about, y'all. You fucking throw hands, move the fuck on. Like, or no, don't even get involved. Bitch, you worried about a purse? Go get you another one. Like, this takes get your bag to a whole nother fucking meaning. Whole nother level. Like, what? Now none of y'all motherfuckers earning money. Cops are crawling all through your neighborhood. Y'all just made shit worse over a bag. And the purse probably didn't exactly, North went exactly where I was going with it. The purse ain't even probably worth that much. Now 8 motherfuckers are dead. At least. Both of the young people were grabbed by the gang and held downhill and tried to get further payback and revenge by forcing the young woman at gunpoint to betray a friend of hers. They ordered her to call him and get him to leave his house in Queens so he could be ambushed. All right, so Queens is beside Brooklyn. So you have Manhattan, which is the core of New York City. The Bronx is in the north. All right, so now we've traversed all the way down through Manhattan into what's called Nassau County and Kings County, which is Brooklyn and Queens. Right, which is on the Lower East Side across the the Brooklyn Bridge into Brooklyn and Queens. Right, anyways, So it's traversed all the way from one side of New York City all the way down to the south, right? So now we're in Queens, which is right here beside, which is right beside Brooklyn. And so police said the victim, identified source of Maurice Sullivan, 27, was taking out his trash and when a dark colored vehicle pulled up around 2:20 a.m. and shot him to death. I'm pimping. Get that girl's mini. A purse probably now. So Northern Slice. Now they lost their families. Real OGs are probably pissed. Yeah, if this is my crew, I'd be. Y'all motherfuckers better quit this bullshit. That's all. I mean, I don't participate in that life. Haven't, won't. But I know people who do, and I'm telling you, this is fucking up somebody's money. This is fucking up somebody's money. On 23, worked with Wan Long Kitchen, a Chinese restaurant on the Lower East Side, owned by her mother, who also owns Nails by Nikki, nearby salon. She was she was a strong girl. She got burned to death over a purse. So, she couldn't stand. Her relatives had to hold her up. This is very tragic. This mama, she raised a good kid who went to college, played ball, and basically gave a girl a ride home and ended up dead for it. That's some fucking bullshit, man. This is some crazy shit. God damn. This is retarded. It's just fucking retarded. She dead on. Yeah, big time. One mistake by the kids takes a lot of cleanup. What the fuck? Y'all. Oh man, I feel for the families. We ain't laughing at you. It's just a fucked up situation. You either laugh or you cry, guys. You either laugh or you cry. Yo, did you guys hear about Pharma Bro Shkreli, the guy who like got put up on fraud and shit? He was out of jail out of prison less than 5 minutes and put up a Bumble account. Notorious Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli, seen in public Thursday for the first time since his early release from federal prison. This dude got sentenced to 8 years and only did 5. The fuck? So, in exclusive photos obtained only by the Post, Shkreli was captured sporting a 5 o'clock shadow and appeared disheveled while fidgeting with his phone outside of a Brooklyn halfway house. Yo, he got a little bit more muscly on the inside, that's for sure. Luna was way worse than Jim. Hey, it is what it is. Martin Shkreli was seen making a cell phone call outside that Brooklyn halfway house. Shkreli was notorious for the price gouging CEO of Turing notorious for price gouging as CEO of Turing Pharmaceuticals. He basically bought this anti-parasitic drug that was needed by people and then jacked the price up to like 20 times what it was supposed to be. So yeah, shit's crazy. Oh, this shit, guys. Yo, this is why you should do what the cops tell you to do if you're in front of a gas station pump. I'm not saying anything bad. This motherfucker got cooked like a barbecue, guys. Like, holy shit. Like, a Florida man is clinging to life with horrific burns to 75% of his body after a sheriff's deputy tased him at a gas station, sparking a fire that cooked the victim alive. Gene Barreto is still recovering from third-degree burns from a confrontation with sheriff's deputies in Orange County. He is wrapped and unwrapped in gauze daily, bleeding profusely, still as he doesn't have the requisite amount of skin to contain his body fluids. The lawyers wrote of the burns, which cover 3/4 of his body. His lawyer said Barreto, a FedEx employee with no prior criminal record, was returning from a gathering of motorbike enthusiasts, which had been broken up by the county deputies. When he stopped at a Wawa gas station, there are so many puns and jokes there. We're not going to touch them. YouTube TOS. No, the Wawa. Yo, Surveillance video from the area showed Barreto standing by the gas pump when he was tackled and body slammed to the ground by the sheriff's deputies, who had been trailing him after an attempted traffic stop. Mr. Barreto was knocked over from behind by surprise, taken down an unknown force. His dirt bike also went down, spilling gas over Mr. Barreto and the deputy. Holy shit, that's weird how that did that. By the blah, 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 blah. What the fuck is going on there? Basically, Barreto pinned the deputy on the ground underneath of him. So his colleague being pinned on the ground, another officer saw it and deployed his taser, not knowing that gas had been set off, and engulfed his body in flames. He had no chill. He decided to run from a traffic stop and get some gas, not knowing that the sheriffs were just sort of easing back. Probably had a helicopter in the air watching, if it was a big bike fest. Got tackled, pinned the sheriff to the ground while another one was sitting there. Got some gas on himself. They lit him up with a taser, which was the appropriate reaction when he's pinning a guy who has a firearm on him to the ground. That fucking sucks. Watching it try to contain himself. Yo, there was so much there I could have done. It's literally called the Wah Wah, man. Like, wah wah, burned. All right, that was the lame tame one. So, Barreto was never arrested or charged with any crime in connection with the bikers meetup. Maybe because he got caught on fucking fire, and they were more worried about getting him put out and into an ambulance than charging him with a crime. All right. Guys, one step at a time. I'm not saying either side is justified. Just give it some fucking time. Holy shit. Listen, if guys, best advice I can ever give anybody, and this isn't even legal advice, blah, blah, blah. If a cop tells you to do something, whether they're right or they're wrong, you are not going to win an argument with them. So, peacefully say that you don't agree. Are you forcing me to do it? Blah, 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 blah. Comply, and then take it up with the court. Because if it's an illegal stop or a bad stop, you say you can't search my vehicle. I don't consent to search of my person or anything else. Why am I being detained? Can you show me a crime I've committed? Do those calmly, but do not. If he says you're under arrest, put your arms behind your back. Say fuck it. Don't fight him. Go peacefully. 90% of the time, this shit ain't gonna happen to you. Gee, screen pie. Oh my God, yes. Fucking Patty Mayo. My safety wears pineapple. Hold on, we got to do that now. Have you guys seen this shit? This shit's hilarious.
He's strong.
Release your hand! Turn around! Turn around! Turn around! Up against the car! Hey! Release your hand! You're making me nervous. You understand?
Oh, is it not the actual video? Is it something else?
Stop and see if he's inside.
Oh, here we go. So he came out of the club. Patty Mayo pulls up. He starts to run. He holds his taser gun out.
You can't chase me?
You gonna chase me?
Hold on, real quick. Why are you chasing me?
Get on the ground.
I can't even sit. That's
Get on the ground.
Wait,
Get on the ground.
It's hot out here.
Get on the ground.
Oh.
Get on the ground.
Try and talk.
Get on the ground.
Man,
Get on the ground.
this was a problem.
I get a warrant for your arrest with the bail bonds company. Get on the ground.
Bail bonds. Bro, you out here tacticaled up. Looking like you. Oh, shit.
Bro, you looking like you about to get tased. I'll tell you that right now. I'm letting this go on you.
Come on, real quick. Just talk to me.
Bro, fucking talking's over. You're done, bro. You're fucking done, dude.
Let's be friends.
Bro, you're fucking done, dude.
Let's just talk.
You're fucking done, dude.
I'll get down. You
You're
asked me.
done.
No?
Dude, you're fucking done.
How you know where I was at?
Bro, I can do this all fucking day long.
Lady, I can't even see your face. My eyes is burnt out.
My eyes is burnt out.
The whole world. Oh, shit!
Shit. Shadow
Black
Man.
Thunder.
I'm Black
Chocolate
Thunder. Tropical Thunder.
Run me
Yo,
out there, run me. It's
this is
fine.
great.
Kill me.
I got all day, bro.
It's not day, I told you.
It's not date.
We all need to live a little.
I really like
Wake up
him,
every
but this
day.
shit's hilarious.
Go to the same damn job, the same shitty paycheck. I mean, at least your job is fun. How do I do that? Big sign-ups? Or do you gotta be a major?
Big guy nuts. I got snacks.
Real talk though.
Get on the ground.
Let me whisper something in your ear.
Get on the ground.
It's really cool. You fast, bro, but you ain't fast enough.
You fast, bro, but you ain't fast enough. What the fuck?
I'm president of Barack Obama.
Don't touch me, I'm Barack
I'm a
Obama.
feminist.
Back
Okay?
up.
Don't touch me, I'm Barack Obama.
Good. I just want you to know, you ain't get me. I got you. We're done. Oh, it's tiring. I'm hot. Don't tase me. That shit just stings.
That shit stings.
My safe word is pineapple juice. You dead?
Put your hands behind your back. Palms up. Put your hands behind your back. Both hands.
It's warm.
Stay just like that. Cross your ankles.
Ooh.
Cross your
We
ankles.
gonna take pictures?
Stay just like that. You understand me? Bring your ankles up to your butt.
Swap man, what's my safe word?
What's my
Bring your
safe
ankles
word?
up to your butt.
That's how far I go. You think I'm in Pilates?
Stay just like that.
You think I'm in Pilates? I got snacks.
I think I have a heart attack. I'm out of breath. It was fun.
Why
What
are
you doing?
you
Ooh, oh, that's cute.
Ooh, that's cute.
Stay just like that. Stick this hand up just like that. Don't move it.
Word. Can I change it to peaches?
Yeah, change
No,
it to
I'll take
peaches.
pineapple juice. I like pineapple.
That has changed. You know how long it took me to get that?
Well, that's my. Don't do that. That's my lighter.
That's my life.
It don't work.
Don't worry.
Don't do drugs, kids. Those are my quarters. You wanna put those in your pocket? That is change. You know how long it took me to acquire those? Some of those are limited edition. Well, that's my flash drive. Don't look at it. Unless you want to see Big D. That's my wallet. You have no. Ooh. And watch your fingers, booty hole man.
Man.
He's strong. No wonder y'all together. Hey, real talk though. Every strong man got a sensitive side. You like doing the weird shit? What's your safe word?
Don't do drugs, kids.
You need help?
Don't do drugs. All right, that's the reference. We had to break it up with some simple shit, yo. Like, we gotta take a break from the serious shit sometimes. Be careful with your fingers, Mr. Booty Hole Man. Oh Lord Jesus, man, it's craziness. It's craziness. Oof, bud. All right. Man, this dude got fucking lit up like a torch. Guys, just do what the cops tell you to do. Like, just listen. No, that's Patty Mayo, and now it's his show or whatever, where he be bondsman hunting people and shit. So, all right. Let's see, what else we got? What else we got? Yeah, China stops issuing new passports, slap entry and exit curbs on citizens. We already talked about that. So let's go look at some more world news. Why not? Oh, we okayed a $40 billion package to Ukraine. Basically gave them another 1/3 of their normal GDP and military assistance. Oh, the Russian soldier who was tried for war crimes asked the widow to forgive him. I don't know if he's been sentenced yet. That's about it, man. Here's what we know about North Korea's COVID outbreak, its ability to handle it. Yo, North Korea is getting beaten in the face by COVID right now. Bush condemns unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq instead of Ukraine in speech gaffe. Oh, he laughed it off, too. He laughed it off. He said Iraq instead of Ukraine. This is the man who made me dislike Republicans. I did not like Bush. I did not like Bush, but yeah. Baker says FBI investigated suspect claims of Trump Russian bank connection. There was nothing there, and that there was nothing there. So yeah, we knew about this. James Baker buries Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman in probe. Yep, they have. So it's starting to come out now, some of the things that they have in the sealed indictments that are coming up and this that allowed them to get further investigative powers. Looks like the Clinton campaign from 2016 may be in a lot of trouble, and it seems that people knew that the Russian collusion, the Steele dossier were fake, and actually ordered it to be faked. So that's a problem. Twitter to add warning label to tweets it deems viral misinformation. We've got to stop this, guys, because then we have stuff that comes out to be true, like the New York Post Biden laptop, or the COVID-19 heart-related stuff. Russia reportedly deploys armored vehicles dubbed Terminators in Ukraine war. These are the supposed lasers of death that will destroy Bayraktars and the rest. We'll see if they actually work, and I can't wait for Ukraine to capture one so we can dissect it. It's going to be great. So right now the Twitter board is trying to force him to buy. He's trying to renegotiate because it turns out that their claims as to the percentage of accounts that are bots may not be accurate. It seems that 15 to 20% of Twitter accounts may be bots, and we'll see if that turns out to be true. So, what in the actual fuck, says Northern Lights? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Need some context. So, Israel will not hold criminal inquiry into killing of journalists. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? Oh, Boris Johnson won't see anything else over Partygate. That's about it, man. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Oh, well, you guys want to talk about Musk? Let's talk about Musk. So Elon Musk says Twitter deal cannot move forward. This was 2 days ago until it proves bot numbers. Nearly 1 in 4 of Elon Musk's Twitter's followers are fake. We also found that over 1/3 of the followers of Biden were fake. It's actually quite insane. So yeah, Musk is putting in work. I mean, if he exits, he's only going to pay $1 billion. I mean, it's literally 1/248 of his wealth. It's less than 0.5% of his actual wealth. Okay, like he don't give a shit. Let's get Musky. Absolutely, Tarkin. I've missed you. Come back. We love you. So Elon Musk has reiterated his claim that that fake and spam accounts can make up more than 20% of Twitter's users, saying the deal to acquire a social media company cannot move forward until Twitter proves the accuracy of its much lower estimate of less than 5%. So why does the bots matter? Because with Twitter, what are you paying for? What is the thing that you monetize against when you purchase Twitter? The thing that you're monetizing against is the people. The product is the users, not the service, right? So it matters because if 1/5 of the users aren't real, why would you pay for something that's fake? You're paying for humans, human interaction, human clicks, human sales, human advertising interaction, right? Bots don't interact with ads. They watch them maybe if you're YouTube, but that's about it. But when it comes down to it, you have to have you're paying for the users, and if those users are fake, then it affects the price. It just came out that nearly 1 in 4 of Elon Musk's Twitter followers are fake. You know, they went through and looked to see, and some of them are literally repetitive bots that post the same exact verbiage and story. I mean, it's just, you just couldn't see the answer fast enough with this delay. I get it. So, Spark Tour and Follower Wonk conducted the audits of the Musk followers. So if we go over here, we can really quickly Biden Twitter followers fake. This also came out, right? Audit finds half of Joe Biden's Twitter followers are fake. Right? These are two huge accounts. Nearly half of President Biden's 22.2 million Twitter followers are bogus, a new audit revealed. The audit, which was done for the social media giant by software firm SparkToro, found that 49.3% of the president's followers are fake followers, guys. This is a big deal. It's a real big deal. Because if these numbers continue to prove true, and they're starting to do them through like the Twitter elite, and they're showing similar results, anywhere between 23%. Biden's is the highest at 49.3, right? So it's crazy, dude. It's just fucking crazy. Or weather reports. I sent my kid to daycare today in pants and long sleeves, and it was over 90. Poor kiddo. I usually give him I have a little Mickey Mouse book bag. Actually, I have it somewhere around here. Let me grab it. Whenever he goes to daycare, he wears this. It's fucking cute. I know. I'm an amazing dad. What can I say? And I fucking send him with a little t-shirt and some shorts and socks. So, well, all right, so back to the subject at hand, Elon Musk and buying. So I Love Target said this could potentially open Twitter up to being sued for fraud by investors and the government. No, so what they'll have to do is show that they took appropriate mitigating steps to prevent bots. But if their audit showed 5% and it turns out that the numbers are actually this high, they're higher than what it seems Elon originally thought, they're going to have problems if their active user base is more than 5% and it's considerably more. The auditor that did the audit, hopefully it was an external company, because then the external company will be sued and Twitter will be fine unless they knew about it and covered it up. Yeah, and Jay, it makes it really easy to send his cup along and a snack, and that way it's just all there. It works really well, by the way. So we keep going between talking about sending our kids with the appropriate stuff so they can be changed out, or if bad things happen. Sorry guys, we're going back and forth. It's sort of interactive. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody in the voice chat with me, so we're good. I'm bad at dressing accordingly. Well, same here, except I'm an adult. Unfortunately, as an adult, we still suffer from the same problems. Luna Girl says same, and I'm well above 2 years old. See? Not the only one. Who will play Musk in the movie about this? Laughing my ass off. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. There might be a movie. There might not be. I mean, we'll see. If he sends someone to Mars eventually, we'll get a movie about him. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, this is not looking good for the Twitter team, man. Not looking good. I know we spent a lot of time on the New York Post, but they just had a bunch of good stories. I don't care about their bias at the moment. Let's look at Grounded. Let's see what Grounded has as far as anything that we should cover. All right. Let's see. Let's go here. New York City investigating possible monkeypox case. We've already talked about this. Boeing Starliner space capsule launched on key test flight to orbit. Oh, might have some SpaceX competition. Did they really just show a purse ad? Did I see the Project Veritas report? I was going to cover that tomorrow when I have better time. after delay. Oh, by the way, guys, tomorrow we will be streaming from Twitch. We're working through what we should use. I'm thinking about doing Minecraft, maybe starting a Minecraft server if any of you guys actually play Minecraft. And we will play Minecraft while talking through some of this shit. And basically you guys will suggest what I should talk about. I'll pull it up and then go back to playing Minecraft while we talk about it. We'll see how you guys like that format. Hopefully, I'm thinking about making every Friday a Twitch stream where I play some video games. You guys come hang out, we talk, we chill, and we get some subscribers maybe. So I was also thinking about maybe doing Magic the Gathering, but I haven't updated my collection and I don't have the money to pop all those packs. So we'll see. Dave Chappelle's alleged attacker charged with attempted murder in unrelated case. What? That's crazy. U.S. CDC advisors recommend COVID-19 booster for children 5 to 11. You guys, this has to stop. You know how many children without underlying comorbidities have died from COVID-19? I'm not allowed to say anything about it on YouTube, so you guys can go look that up. But it's interesting. Go check out the CDC and the WHO and check out what it looks like when you don't have comorbidities and you're below the age of 12, what your death rate is. So, oh, we have elections going on. You get your election news for 2022 here. By the way, guys, the red wave is apparently a real thing. So that's happening. COVID causes COVID deaths. Scary. I know, right? So here, Bud Ted beating the shit out of McCrory is also looking like he's gonna do his damn thing. Looks like most of the United States is going Republican. I told the Dem told them they have to get their shit together. So, January 6th panel of GOP lawmakers to testify about capture tour. Court brings back NYC ban on police restraint during arrests. Wells Fargo staged sham job interviews for black female candidates. That's fucking horrible. Okay, we're gonna have to look at this. Oklahoma legislature passes bill banning almost all abortions. We expected that. Canada to ban Huawei from 5G network. Sources, absolutely, this is a good move. Huawei has built-in spyware, and also their phones can be used as an attack vector against U.S. cellular systems. So yeah, that's a thing. At least from what I understand from security researchers and my own independent research, not related to this podcast. Please don't sue me, Huawei. What was on Hunter Biden's hard drive? Lord Jesus. Why is literally no one on the left is talking about this? And it's crazy. It's crazy. You guys should really check this out. We'll do something on it later. But we're 3 minutes out from finishing up, so I appreciate all of you guys. So let's read some comments. We're just going to end this on a happy day. Oh, happy day. All right, let's go to just chatting. Let's just chat for a minute. Ooh, that's ugly. Okay. I don't know why. You gotta go here to the properties. Be like, yo, what is the... Oh, that's why. Why are we not doing 1920 by 1080? Okay. There we go. Properties. 1920 by 1080. FPS type, device default. Okay. There we go. All right, guys. This is our Just Chatting. Over on the right, eventually we will have our YouTube chat that'll just show up, hopefully. And yeah. Should be good to go. You have hookers on your flash drive too? Yeah. Big D. Big D. So, it's all good. By the way, today's lecture went amazing. So that's a thing. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate every last one of you for showing up. Make sure if you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, you hit that like or subscribe button. Please tune in the future for more escapades with the Cardboard Crusader. I appreciate every last one of you. And yeah, understand that you have intrinsic value just by being alive. I love every last one of you. Have a great night. Peace.